Planning a celebrity cruise, whether it's your first time or your fifth, I've got you covered. In this video, I'm sharing well over 25 up-to-date cruise tips and tricks to help you avoid rookie mistakes, to cruise smarter, and to take advantage of everything that Celebrity has to offer. I've gathered tons of practical advice, from embarkation day strategies to dining tips to the drink package, also how to save money and more. One of the best parts about cruising with Celebrity is how much you can get done before you even get on the ship so that you have smooth sailing. So let's take a look. When you're planning your Celebrity cruise, here's what I tell everyone what they need to know before they even get on the ship. The first thing is you want to download the app early. So when you download the app, this is where you do your check-in, you can book your shore excursions, you can book your dining, you can even look and see what there is to eat in the dining room each night. So definitely you want to download the app early. Tip number two is to book early and to watch the price. Why do you want to book early? Many reasons. One, you could get a better price. The earlier that you book, the better price you usually get. And then you can always price watch, and if it drops, you can refare for the lower price. Here is a reason, and I'm going to come back to this a few times, of why it's a good idea to book with a travel agent. If you book with a travel agent, they're able to make that change and keep you in the same room. Whereas if you book through your cruise line, that doesn't always happen. And then the next thing is, when you book early, you'll have a lot more choice of what cabins you would like. So, for example, if you're going to Alaska, you need to book over a year in advance if you want a balcony cabin because they sell out. And the third tip here is to choose the right ship for your style. And we're going to get into each of the different classes of ships that Celebrity has now. Let's start with the Millennium class ship, which are the oldest and smallest. They hold about 2,100 passengers. So here's some things to know. All the Millennium class ships were revolutionized. They got revolution upgrades between 2019 and 2020. That's what Celebrity calls the refurbishing program. They call it Celebrity revolutionizing. And then they have modernized staterooms, lounges, and restaurants. Millennium class ships have a sky lounge, which has a panoramic view at the top of the ship, which is super nice. They have a solarium, which is an adults-only indoor pool area. They have a main dining room. I really like the main dining room on this class ship because it looks out over the ocean at the back or rear of the ship. So I love, and it has like a huge window that goes all the way from the ground level up. So it's a beautiful main dining room. They also have a rooftop terrace with an outdoor movie and relaxation area. And that was added during that revolutionary time. The next class of ships is a Solstice class. The Solstice class are newer than the Millennium class ships. They hold about 2,800 passengers, and they are a fan favorite, especially for people who like that classic cruising style. Here are some key features about this class. They have a lawn club, so they have a half acre of real grass for picnics, bocce. They have putting on the lawn. It's very cool, very interesting. Next, they also have that sky lounge with a panoramic view. So that would be super nice. Like, let's just say you're taking an Alaska cruise. You could go on the Solstice class and get that panoramic view of the glaciers. And then, depending upon which one you're on, they have a hot glass studio, which I went on the Equinox and made hot glass. It was very nice. It was very cool to do. And then other ones have this long club grill. Now, I think if you're on like a cold weather cruise, you probably won't spend that much time up there, but definitely on like a Caribbean cruise or a cruise like with warmer weather, you'll spend more time up there. And then next, they have a solarium, an adults only indoor pool area, which is nice for more than one reason. It's an adults only. And then the main dining room on the Solstice class, this is also a multi-level venue. It doesn't have that same look at the back or after the ship like you do on the Millennium class ships. Edge class ships are the newest and boldest ships in Celebrity's fleet. They hold anywhere from 2,900 to 3,200 passengers. But even being a little bit larger, they're really well thought out and well designed to keep the flow going, to keep the crowds, like you don't notice the crowds. Here's some key features for the Edge class ship. They have the infinite verandas. These are staterooms with a seamless indoor-outdoor layout using a floor-to-ceiling window that opens at the push of a button. And then they have the magic carpet. It's a cantilevered, it's hard to say, cantilevered, multi-use platform that moves vertically along the ship's side, serving as a bar, a tender platform, and, depending upon where you're cruising, a specialty dining space. Next, you have Eden, which is a multi-level lounge, restaurant, and performance space. And then you've got the Retreat, which is an exclusive suite class experience with access to the private sun deck, lounge, and luminae at the Retreat. On the Edge class ship, in that space that is the Lawn Club on the Solstice class ship, they've actually redesigned that to make that the rooftop garden, which is a lush outdoor space with live music, movie screenings, and casual dining at the Rooftop Gardens Grill. You'll also find the resort deck. The resort deck has a really nice pool area, an asymmetrical pool deck, and they have these martini glass-shaped hot tubs and panoramic ocean views. So which is right for you? If you want that next-gen features with expanded suite perks and a sleek design, choose the Edge class. You want to choose the Solstice class for the traditional yet upscale cruises with great amenities. And then choose Millennium class for smaller ships, unique itineraries, and a relaxed pace. Summing up, I'm going to give you a tip about embarkation day dining and where not to eat, what to avoid, and I'm going to tell you where you must go on your last sea day. Embarkation day sets the tone for your cruise. So here's some few tips and tricks to keep it smooth and relaxing. Tip number 1 has to do with arriving early. So you want to arrive early to the ship, not because you are in a rush, but instead so you can take it easy. So you get on the ship, you can go get lunch, and we're going to talk about a few things that you have to do on that embarkation day. But some things you should do is you should take it as an opportunity to walk around, to get to know the ship before it's filled with all the other passengers. Tip number 2 is on celebrity ships, you can drop off your carry-on bags. So you're going to want to carry on some items onto the ship, things like any medications that you have that you can't be without. Those items you're going to be able to drop off right away in your cabin. Your cabin won't be ready yet, but at least you can get rid of those bags and you don't have to lug them around the ship. Tip number 3 is you want to complete your muster drill early. So that's one of the great parts of downloading that app early, is that you can actually do the virtual muster drill on the app before you even get on the ship. And then all you have to do is walk over to your muster station, they beep your card, and you're good to go. You've completed tip number 3, you've completed your muster drill, and now you're hungry. Where should you go? Well, here's your tip. Skip the buffet. Everybody goes to the buffet. Some better places to go we'll talk about in a little bit later in the video of what else is included and where you can go on that embarkation day to get a bite to eat. So you're skipping the buffet on your embarkation day. So where do you go instead? That's where your app comes in handy. So you can check your app, you can see what restaurants are open on that embarkation day, and we're going to talk in a minute about some other options of where you can eat on that embarkation day. But what else is great about the app? You can see what entertainment's playing, you can see where the trivia is, the game shows, just everything that's going on the ship. You can check it in your app. Now you'll also have let's look at this here, your celebrity day, and we're going to talk about that in just a second here. But all of the information that's in there is in your app. I used to like and prefer to have my highlighter out to use this, but look how tiny those words are. And when it's on your phone, it's easier to read. And the other thing about it when it's on your phone is you can mark favorites of what you want to do each day. Next app tip is to use your app to time your specialty dining. So let's just say you want to go, you have a special occasion and you want to go out to one of the specialty dining. Great. Here's your tip. Even before you get on the ship, you can go to the main dining on your app and you can see what the menu is. So you can look at each menu for each day and you can decide, you know what, on Wednesday, I don't like what they have to offer in the main dining room. So that's the night that you would schedule your specialty dining, and you can do that right in your app as well. Don't worry if you did not pay for Wi-Fi. You don't need the Wi-Fi for the app, so you can still use the app even if you didn't pay for Wi-Fi. You will want to look at your Celebrity Today paper planner for some things though. Here's a great pro tip. This area of your Celebrity Today, it shows you the entertainment, and this is the best part of the day. So when you want to know what should you make sure you don't want to miss, this is where you're going to look, because there's where they really highlight it. The other part of your Celebrity Today that you don't want to miss, they're going to have like a port advice when you go wherever you go. But here's what you don't want to miss. Right here, where it has your port agent and the port address. So when you go off the ship, it's going to give you your all aboard time in your planner, and it's going to have your port agent information. You want that. So either take this paper with you or take a photo of it. That way, if for any reason you're out at the port and you're concerned that you're not going to get back to the ship on time, you can contact the port agent, let them know what's going on, and they can let the ship know what's going on, and sometimes they will hold the ship for you. Now that you know what you can use your app for, and you know the important parts of your Celebrity Today, let's talk about one of the best parts of cruising, the food. One of the things I love about Celebrity is how much variety there is and things to choose from when dining. So whether you stick to the all-included items or you try something special, there's a lot to choose from. So here's a few things that make dining on Celebrity fun and flexible. Let's start with that main dining room, the included main dining room. Tip number 1, pick a dining style that fits your vibe. So they have traditional dining and they have select dining. So select dining is the same as anytime dining. They just call it select dining. With the dinner time on your traditional dining, your seating is as early as 5:30, and then the late seating would be around 7:45. Whereas with your select dining, it's flexible. You get to choose the time that you dine. Now, given that, there are some things that you should consider. Everybody still goes usually a little early or a little later. So if you want to sit down quickly, I would get to the line if you're doing select dining, like 5:15, 5:30. I would not go between 6:30, 6:15, 6:30, and 7:30, because that is right when people are finishing up their meal. Instead, go before, like at 5:30, or after, like at 7:30. So that's as far as your timing if you're going to choose the select dining. What about your table mates? So anymore, when you cruise, you get to basically choose. They have a lot of single table set up for 2s and 4s. They do have larger table groups. If you have a larger table group, you'll probably want to make your reservation with your traditional dining and not just show up with 10 people and want a seat for 10. And then as far as your wait staff, that's the big difference. Well, it is one of the big differences. We'll talk about this right now. So with the traditional dining, you are set. You have the same dining staff every night. So you get the same waiter, the same helper every night. Whereas if you have the select dining, that may or may not be the case. We always find it is the case. So we always show up pretty much the same time every night anyway. We like to eat early, so we get there around 5:15, 5:30. And we may not be at the exact same table every night, but they work really hard to get you the same server every night. And we really like to build that relationship, that rapport with the server. So that is something that we enjoy. So even though we do select dining, we still end up with the same wait staff every night. If you're sailing on the Edge class ship, you got 4 main dining rooms. The 4 main dining rooms are Cyprus, Tuscan, Normandy, and Cosmopolitan. They all have a different atmosphere, but the menu, the main part of the menu rotates every single night the same. So whether you eat in Normandy or Cyprus or Tuscan, they're going to have a menu that's the same that rotates through every night. The difference is each one of them has a section of the menu that's just for them. So the restaurant we went to was Cyprus, and in that was a Mediterranean restaurant. So their main courses were more Mediterranean inspired. Now here's something to know. If you're like me and Noah and you like to be at the same restaurant each night because you like to get to know your wait staff, you can order one of the specialty dinners from one of the other restaurants. So let's just say, for example, I'm making it up, but in Tuscan, it's Italian. They have spaghetti and meatballs. You would like spaghetti and meatballs. You can say, can I get the spaghetti and meatballs that they're serving as their main meal over in Tuscan? Your server in Cyprus will get it for you. It's the same kitchen. So they're able to get that food for you. So you could rotate through the different restaurants if you want to see what they look like. But if you're like us and you like the same wait staff each night, you might just stay put and ask them to get that meal for you. Tip 3 under food is lobster night hacks. So lobster night is your last formal night of the cruise. They don't call it formal night. We'll talk about that when we talk about the dress code in a minute here. They call it a chic night. But that last formal night is when they have lobsters. So let's just say you want more than one lobster tail and you go with your husband who doesn't like lobster. Ask him to order one for you and you can get it. And here's something else. If you want surf and turf, the lobster is by itself. You can say, I would like a steak with my lobster, and they will do that. So that brings us to tip number 4. Order everything you want. Everything. So you can order 2 mains, 2 sides, 2 desserts, 3 mains, no sides, no desserts. Whatever combination that you want, you can order. Something to know is that the appetizer and the mains are on the smaller side, which is nice. I think they do it on purpose because they know you're going to share. So Noah and I frequently each order a main and then we get a 3rd main so that we can split that as well. But you know what? If there was 4 things I wanted to try, I'd order all 4. Celebrity offers lots of different types of cabins, and one of them is an aqua class. If you're in an aqua class cabin, veranda cabin, then you have access to Blue. So Blue is a restaurant just for aqua class passengers, and it offers like a fresher, more spa-inspired food choices. However, something to know. If you would like one of the items that they have in the main dining room, you can ask for it in Blue. So you can still go to Blue every night, but let's just say they've got something that looks really yummy in the main dining room and you know what they have because you can look on your app, then they will get it for you. Suite guests are part of the retreat. So retreat and suite guests, same thing. Suite, retreat. They get to eat at Luminé, which is also a very fancy restaurant. It's one of them that I would like to try someday. So once again, though, let's just say you want something that's in the main dining room. You can get it. Just ask your server. Leaving the main dining room. What other places can you eat on the ship that are included? So here's some included food. The Ocean View Cafe, so that's your buffet. Don't skip on that buffet. Don't sleep on it because it is so good. They have so many made-to-order stations. Like they have a ramen station. They have a panini station. They have a pasta station. They have a fresh salad station. So I really appreciate those made-to-order stations, and they have a lot of them. And the other thing that they do really nice is they have kind of like pods throughout the buffet, and that way it keeps the flow of the people. So you do want to skip the buffet on Embarkation Day, but the rest of the days, eat it. Breakfast and lunch. It's really, really good. And here's that I gave you before. Where should you make sure you go? On the last sea day. On the last sea day, oh my gosh, they pull out all the stops in the buffet. They have huge seafood displays filled with shrimp. They have so much different fruits that they don't have on any other day. So you want to make sure that you go to the Ocean View Cafe on that last sea day. There is something you should skip in the Ocean View Cafe though, and that's the desserts. They look so beautiful, but they are not tasty. So I do not recommend that you eat the desserts in the buffet. However, they do have scoops, and go there instead. They have soft serve ice cream that they serve for you, and they have hard ice cream that they serve for you, and this is where you can also find some cookies. Tip number 9 also has to do with the buffet, and that is sitting in the aft or rear terrace of the ship. That is a beautiful place to sit, and lots of people don't know about it, so it's often not crowded. So just keep walking. You'll get there, and you'll be so happy that you did. Tip number 10 when it came to the food, look at that. I got ahead of myself. I got so excited about that last C-Day buffet I had to share. You can probably tell by the number of tips that I've already shared about dining that this is my favorite section of the cruise, one of them, but this one has the most tips. All right, so here's some other included spots that are worth trying. So the Spa Cafe. So the Spa Cafe is located in the solarium, and even though it's adults only, kids can go there to get food. And it's just smaller bites, healthier bites. They have smoothies during the breakfast and lunch. The smoothies are included if you have the premium drink package. So we're going to talk about the drink packages here in a minute. Otherwise, they're a for fee, those smoothies. And then another place you can go, and that's actually a place that you might want to get food on the embarkation day because it won't be as crowded. Another place is the Mass Grill. This is where you get your burgers, your hot dogs, your French fries. Everything is made right there in front of you. It's not like they have a central kitchen and then they bring it up. They actually have the grill top right there. They're frying the fries right there. So the food is hot and good in the Mass Grill. And that's where we traditionally go on the first day, grab a burger and some fries. Next, if you are on the Edge class ship, there's the Eden Cafe. The Eden Cafe they have breakfast and lunch, and they have made to order paninis and salads. And in the morning, they have hot cinnamon rolls. So it's a nice place to go if you kind of want to avoid the buffet crowds and you want another made-to-order option. And then your 14th place to go is Cafe Al Baccio. You're not 14th place to go, but your 14th tip is Cafe Al Baccio. Now, Cafe Al Baccio, the food in Cafe Al Baccio is included. So they have treats throughout the day. It's open 24 hours. They have coffee, they have teas, and that's someplace you can also grab a cookie. As promised, there are a lot of food tips. So this has to do with your room service and specialty dining. You can get a continental breakfast, and that's included. That's included with your fare. Anything else, it's a $9.95 room service fee, unless you're in the retreat. So if you have a suite and you're in the retreat, then your room service is included. And then tip number 16 has to do with that specialty dining. It's a splurge, but it might be worth it. So if you have a special occasion, you might want to go to Murano, which is a French-inspired restaurant that everybody says is delicious, and I'm getting FOMO about. So, and they have a nice, fine steakhouse. And then something that looks really cool is they have what's called La Petite Chef. And basically they have an animated chef making your food. And then they bring out your food that you just watched an animated chef prepare. Dining is just one side of the indulgent on board. The other side is drinks. So let's talk about the drink package and where to get the best martini on the ship. Let's start by talking about what is included in your drink packages. If you have purchased the all-inclusive package, that includes your classic drink package and your basic Wi-Fi. So let's start by looking at what's in that classic drink package. So your classic package includes cocktails and spirits, liqueurs and beers up to $12. And we're going to talk in the second year. I'm going to share with you a list and link it in the description of what those alcohols and beers are available that are part of your classic drink package. Your wines by the glass, your non-alcoholic cocktails, and then your premium coffees and teas. So these are where you would get in Cafe Al Baccio. They also, on some of the ships, they have a Cafe Al Baccio number 2 where you can get your coffees. And those are included with your classic drink package. Otherwise, you can pay as you go. And then your sodas and juices. Now, this does not include the smoothies that are in the Spa Cafe. If you have the premium drink package, those are included. Otherwise, those are not included. So if you're a smoothie drinker, you might consider moving up to the premium package. And then it includes bottled water. So now let's compare that to the premium package. The premium package, you have your drinks up to $19, wine by the glass. You have your non-alcoholic cocktails also, and your premium coffees and teas, same, it's the same. And then premium sodas, I don't know what premium sodas are, but I guess they have fancy sodas. And then your spa cafe, those fresh juices and the smoothies in the spa cafe are included. And then you also have a premium selection of bottled, still, and sparkling water. When ordering a classic cocktail, you can ask specifically for the type of vodka that you want. So you can say, I would like a Tito's martini. And they will put Tito's in it because Tito's is included in your drink package. So I'll put a link to this in the description below so you'll have a whole list. Like here's an example. Here's the beers, the list of the beers that are included. So we went on our last sailing and we ordered a beer thinking, oh, all the beers are included. They're not. And that beer was $17. So we had to pay the extra $5 for this special beer. So you'll want to maybe take a look before you sail at, like, if you're a beer drinker, what beers are included in your classic package. Tip number 2, under the drink packages is upgrade if you like the extras. So if you want to have those smoothies in the spa cafe, if you want those top shelf cocktails, if you like that special bottled water, it might be worth it. It's $20 per person per day for that premium drink package. And then, but let's just say you want to get the extra, but you're not going to drink that much. $20 a day is more than you'll possibly do. You can just get the more expensive cocktail and just pay the difference plus a 20% gratuity. Then when you're purchasing your all-inclusive package, you want to watch for sales. So whether you're just getting the drink package by itself or you're getting the all-inclusive package, you want to look for when it's selling for like 35 or 40% off. That's your sweet spot. That's your best price that you're going to get. And you just, again, check in your app in that planner to see when the prices are. Next, travel agent. So a travel agent can really help you in booking your packages. So their group rates often include that all-inclusive package and you'll get a really good deal. That's what happened with us. We normally don't get a drink package, but it was such a good deal through our travel agent. The whole cruise was less expensive and it came with that all-inclusive package. So you'll want to work with a travel agent. If you need a travel agent, I'll link the one that I use in the description below. And then you don't want to miss the martini bar. So whether you're on a summit, or I should say on a Millennium class, a Solstice class, or an Edge class ship, the martini bar is a show in itself. So whether you're going to sit down and drink a martini, I'd go for the show. Those guys have so much fun spinning the bottles, building the pyramids. It's pretty awesome. The other part of the all-inclusive package is Wi-Fi. It comes with a basic Wi-Fi. But if you want more than just the basics, you'll want to upgrade to $9.99 per day per person. And that way you can have more like the Wi-Fi you're used to at home. I'll put a link to this also in the description below so you can see the comparison. We talked about food, we talked about drinks, we talked about some ways to save money on that drink package, but what about the rest of your cruise? So here's some different ways to save money on your celebrity cruise. Tip number 1 is to book early and then pay attention to the price. If the price drops, then you can refare. And that is, like we said earlier, one of the ways to make that easy is to use a travel agent. Tip number 2 is considering the shoulder season. So again, if you're talking about, let's say, Alaska, if you go in May or September, those are the shoulder seasons. They're less crowded and often less expensive. And another way to save money is if you want to get on a celebrity ship is to do a repositioning cruise. So repositioning cruises are, let's say, for example, you've got cruise ships in Alaska during the summer. Well, they need to put them other places in the world during the winter because you don't cruise to Alaska in the winter. So they reposition. They come out of Alaska, they go to Hawaii and on to Australia or to New Zealand. So they just make their way there. Or sometimes the ships come down and then go through the Panama Canal and spend their winters in the Caribbean. So this is a good opportunity to get on a celebrity ship for a cheaper price. Next, prepaying for your gratuities and your packages. So why is prepaying your gratuities a good idea? Sometimes cruise lines increase the prices of their gratuities. When they do that, if you've already paid them, you're locked into the price that you already paid. And same thing with packages. So if they change the price in the packages, you are locked in to the price that you already paid. So, and then it's also, you'll see when you go to book things, and those packages could be at much less money when you pre-book them. Like, don't wait to get on the ship to pay for your drink package. Tip number 4 is my favorite money saving tip for celebrity. And that is, if you live in the United States, use your AARP gift certificate discount. So you save 10%. So you don't have to be a senior to be AARP. Anybody can be AARP. You just pay your $15 annual fee. You go in, you get your gift certificates, and you get 10% off. They don't apply to your deposit. So you'll have to work with your travel agent or work with celebrity to find out, like, what can I use my gift certificate for? What portion of my cruise can you? But whatever portion you can, 10%, that adds up on cruises. So you'll want to make sure you use that. And then the other way you can save money is if you have 100 shares in Royal Caribbean, which Royal Caribbean owns Celebrity. If you have 50, so 100 shares. For a cruise that's 6 days or less, you get $50. 7 days to 13 days, you get $100 onboard credit, and over, so 14 days and over, you get $250 onboard credit. So you want to make sure you take advantage of that if you have 100 shares in Royal Caribbean. Tip number 5 on how to save money is if you plan on going to multiple nights of specialty dining, you might want to get a specialty dining package. This is another one that you'll want to pay attention to the price in your app because the prices fluctuate. So when you see a good deal, grab it. So you've saved a boatload of money, a shipload of money. Let's go on to getting your cabin setup hacks to maximize your storage space. So the first thing is you want to bring magnetic hooks. The walls in your cabin are metal. Even the ceiling is metal. So these are great to attach to the wall, and you can put jackets, hats, backpacks, the works to keep things off the counter and keep things nice and neat. The next thing that you need to bring is you need to pack a pre-approved or cruise-approved power adapter. So the reason why is because, especially on the older ships like this Millennium class ships and even the Solstice, there's not a lot of plugs. So you'll want to bring a non-surge protected power bar like this, or I really like this, because everything I'm plugging in has a USB anymore. So you plug just this in and look, you can get 6 things plugged in. So these are a couple of things you want to make sure that you pack to get everything plugged in. Tip number 3 is you want to use packing cubes. The reason why packing cubes are so nice is that you actually don't even have to unpack them. You just unzip them, some of them. Some things you're going to want to hang up in the closet, but the things that you don't, you can just put the whole packing cube in the drawer. And one thing I like to do is I like to label the packing cubes. So I just use a label maker and I label them, like this had pants, this is underwear, socks, and pajamas. And then I put like even my eye mask to know, oh, I got it in there. So you want to use packing cubes to save space and save time. Tip number 4 for maximizing your cabin space and just making it better is you want to unpack on day 1. So here's why. Number 1, you want to be unpacked. You're going to be in that cabin for a few days. That way you don't have to worry about it. But the other thing is, if you don't unpack that first night, you're going to hear the banging and clanging of the hangers as the ship moves. So if you're not going to unpack, take those hangers down. And here's another tip that you may not think about. You may be great and unpack on day 1, but on the last day of your cruise, when you've already packed up to go home, take those hangers and just put them down so they're not hanging in the shelf still with nothing on them to bang and clang around. And tip number 5 is after you've emptied out your luggage, you store it right under your bed. Still ahead, there's one entertainment event that does fill up fast, so I'm going to give you that. And if you want to know where the action is, I'm going to give you a pro tip on that as well. This part is all about the entertainment, so don't miss the celebrity cruise activities and entertainment highlights. So The first thing is, in the main theater, there's no reservation required. So you don't have to like get on the ship and book your entertainment timings. No, you can just show up. Now, the production shows are popular, so you will want to get to them 20 to 30 minutes ahead to get the seat that you want. So that's one tip. Next, there's music playing throughout the ship. So there's music in the Grand Foyer or the Grand Plaza, depending upon what your ship is, how they call it. There's also music at the Sunset Bar. There's music on the Edge class ship in Eden. So you can find where those are by looking in your app or looking in the daily planner, but really you can just follow your ears to follow the music. Tip number 3, when it comes to entertainment, is going to the game shows. The game shows are so much fun. So whether you're an extrovert who wants to hold the microphone or you're an introvert like my husband who likes to watch and laugh, there's something for everyone. So some of the great game shows that they have are the Whisper Challenge, Liars Club, and the one you can't miss is the one that's kind of like the Newlywed Game. That's not always with just newlyweds. It's hilarious. In addition to the game shows, a great way to meet people on the ship is to go to the trivia. So if you enjoy trivia, I love the trivia. You just go to the trivia and you'll meet people around you. It's really a fun way to spend an afternoon. And then here's tip number 5. If you want to find the action, what the most popular thing to do on the ship is, just follow the cruise director. Wherever your cruise director is, that's where the best activities are. And the other thing is you can always look in your Celebrity Today in this section where it says entertainment. That's what the best entertainment of the day is going to be right there. From game shows to jazz trios, Celebrity is going to keep you entertained. But before we wrap up, let's talk about what you'll want to pack so that you're ready to take advantage of everything that Celebrity throws your way. So what to pack for a Celebrity cruise? The dress code. Your dress code is relaxed but elevated. So on this, you'll want to wear most nights. Women can just wear a sundress or just slacks and a blouse. Men can wear jeans and a button-up shirt. And really, the same thing can go even for your evening chic, your chic nights. So they call their formal nights chic nights. It's basically as formal as you want it to be. The things that they discourage, there'll be no shorts. So if you wear shorts to the dining room, they're going to turn you away. Flip-flops or sandals in the main dining room if you're a man. So women, you can wear sandals, but men, no. In the main dining room, baseball caps. So I did see them on our last cruise, turned a few people away for what they were wearing because it wasn't their expectation for the chic night. A couple theme nights that they have on the cruise. One of them would be a full moon party. The other one would be called Shine the Night. So you could pack a white outfit, a white shirt to be ready for full moon party if they have one. And you could pack something glitzy for Shine the Night if they have one of those. Tip number 4, no matter where you're cruising, you'll want to pack in layers. So whether in Alaska or in Aruba, you'll want to have a cover-up just in case you get chilly at night. So just bring a few extra layers so you're prepared. And this is a big one. You want to pack shoes that you can walk in. So remember, you're on a ship that could be swaying. You want to make sure that you're comfortable in your shoes. I don't really think cruise ships are the place to bring your 6-inch stilettos. Tip number 6 are cruise essentials that you don't want to leave without. One of them is plastic luggage tag protectors. So you just put your luggage tags inside of these plastic protectors and they make sure nothing happens to your paper luggage tags. Next, I don't go anywhere without an air tag. So these air tags or whatever luggage trackers you have, throw them in every piece of luggage that you have. That way you always know where your luggage is when they're getting it onto the ship and off the ship. Next, we already talked about using packing cubes. And we already talked about bringing your surge protectors. You want to make sure you have those, not your surge protectors, your unsurge protected power. Yes. Magnet hooks, don't leave without them. And I like to bring a foldable hamper to put the clothes in just to keep your cabin neat, if it opens, and organized. Celebrity has some of the most loyal customers out there, and once you sail with them, you will understand why. And to learn more about Celebrity and its different ships, watch this playlist next. Happy sailing!